Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Mariana's Coffee.
Tonight on the Channel 2 News, it was only a drill, but the airport practices for a worst-case scenario at Saipan International. Also tonight, the mayors of Guam and the Northern Marianas gather and discuss inter-island transportation issues. And who has the best job on Saipan? How about a photographer who routinely works at 14,000 feet? In sports, we're exporting a local longboarder all the way to Central America. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
I love Mariana's Coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
Our new McDonald's Spicy Chicken McNuggets are just the right amount of spicy. A small to medium Sprite kind of spicy. Let's get a McFlurry after this kind of spicy. But if you get the mighty hot sauce, it's a napkins for foreheads now kind of spicy. This came from McDonald's kind of spicy? Because our Spicy Chicken McNuggets, breaded in tempura and made with cayenne, are just the right amount of spicy. Unless you remember what I said about the sauce. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Are we ready for a worst-case scenario at the Saipan International Airport? This is a drill. This is only a drill, or comforting words, but today at Saipan International, personnel simulated an airplane crash. It was not too long ago in our region that there was a major airline crash. Former Guam Governor Carl Gutierrez, who by chance was on Saipan today, was the governor of Guam when a Korean Airlines passenger plane crashed on approach to the island in August of 1997. 229 people perished when the plane ran into a hill just south of Nimitz Hill in the middle of the night. And it was a crash that changed aviation culture. Causes of that crash included pilot error, inadequate training, and a malfunctioning navigation system. This morning, a team of about 200 simulated a disaster drill here that is required every 3 years by the Federal Aviation Administration. The drill helps us review and assess our response to a disaster should it occur at the Saipan Airport. It included the involvement of people from government agencies and emergency response departments, as well as student and civilian volunteers to take part in the emergency simulation. The event included simulating a plane crash, the fire that needs to be put out, victims on the ground that needed to be triaged and attended to. The drill happened this morning at 10:30. CPA will conduct wrap-up meetings in the following weeks to assess the ins and outs of today's drill. One people, one voice, one Marianas. Mayors from Saipan, Tinian, Rota, and Guam gathered this morning at the Koblerville Youth Center. Mayor Camacho.
We're the front line in any issues in the community. So with this working group, we're working to share ideas and possible solutions.
We're going to discuss a lot of issues that are really affecting our Mariana Islands in regards to inter-island travel, in regards to further strengthening the partnership between the islands. And so we are hoping to sign or partner as sister cities between some villages of the islands and just address other issues that have been brought up.
Today we have a couple of hot topics that we wanted to talk about. One is the Guam Sinamay Visa Waiver Program for the Philippines, which is in turn can be tourism. As you know, the Sinamay is struggling in building tourism capacity. We wanted to see that, and we wanted to hear from former Governor Carl Gutierrez to explain more of the details of where we are at and how can the association support. What can we do to support the initiative of bringing the visa waiver program to the Sinamay and Guam?
Luis Cruz Rivera is the mayor of Tamuning, Harmon, and Tumon.
Many of our sisters and brothers, they have families, we're all right next door to each other. We all want to help each other out, and so travel is very important. Transportation, so anything we can do to help get goods to one another is greatly appreciated.
The Rota mayor says the island, which is located near Guam, has some unique challenges.
Our market has always been our neighboring island of Guam, and many of our local businesses, they import and export to that island, and so we want to address some of the issues or concerns brought up by our local businesses and residents.
Rota would like to export goods and import tourists.
Talking to a lot of residents or visitors on Guam, they've expressed their desire to come and visit Rota, but because the airline transportation is too costly, we are trying to look at other avenues that we can somewhat recommend that will allow them the opportunity to travel to Rota.
Transportation issues a common theme among mayors, and she says that Rota is losing a number of residents.
It's very costly to travel, and of course the cost of living on Rota is really a challenge for our local residents. Many people are leaving our home, and so we want to see how we can address that. Living on Rota is costly, and we want to see how we can do our part to help address those issues.
The Rota mayor goes on to say that short term they would like to improve visitor attractions.
Short term, because we have a lot of internal things that we want to address, upgrading our facilities, which we're addressing right now. Once we open and welcome tourists, we want them to really have a great experience on Rota. And how do we do that? We want to ensure that our facilities are up to par. We want to encourage our local people or investors to come and open businesses on Rota so that there are recreational things to do, and we can also generate. We also want to encourage our people to export more.
In 3 weeks, direct flights to and from Japan will have a new schedule, and tourism officials are hoping that the scheduled change will have a direct impact on the flight's load factors. United currently flies down from Narita 3 days a week, departing at 9:25 p.m. and arriving after 2 a.m. in the early morning the following day. The flight also departs back to Japan early in the morning, just after 7 a.m., which means tourists arriving from Japan for a short vacation have a tough go at it.
Right now, the schedule, they tend to lose like almost a day and a half to 2 days as far as hotel stay, as far as enjoying their vacation and so on. So we're very happy that they were able to actually change the schedule, and that we're working also with the airport and with the federal agencies in order to get this schedule change.
The new flight today showed a round-trip airfare in May of about $650. The new schedule departs Tokyo at 5:30 p.m. and will arrive in Saipan just before 10 p.m. on the same day. The flight, which started coming out of the pandemic, comes with some revenue guarantees from the CNMI government. The current contract expires at the end of August.
It's been already almost 2 years since the start of this program. We've had, I'd say, just mediocre success with the new schedule. I believe that we'll be able to see a lot better interest in coming over.
Schedule is undoubtedly going to be better for tourists, but also better for travelers that originate in the NMI and are headed to Narita for connections.
For our local people, instead of waiting for 6 hours in order to get your connection flight at Narita Airport, you're only waiting for like 2.5 hours. And so I think that everyone is going to be happy, and hopefully that this will be a win-win for the CNMI as well as for United Airlines.
Scheduled change takes effect on May the 7th. Chris Nelson for the Channel 2 News.
Hapaday CNMI, I'm Officer Igito. Driving under the influence of marijuana is against the law. Driving high can impair your judgment, motor coordination, the ability to concentrate, and slow your reaction time. Therefore, it can impair your driving skills. We are not out here to get you, we're out here to protect you. Don't drive high, CNMI. Drive high, get a DUI.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the CNMI Department of Public Safety.
I love Marianne's coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537. When you jump at Skydiving Saipan, there's a lot going on behind the scenes to keep you safe, comfortable, and having the time of your life. The company is the brainchild of John and Paula Stewart, who also helped to bring the mail to Saipan and ship goods throughout the CNMI and Guam. The skydive hangar is just next to the Saipan International Airport, and it's here that jump preparation starts. This form says that you agree to have the best time of your life. It needs to be signed but not notarized. Next up, a safety video that gives you some tips to fully enjoy your jump. Then it's time to put on a blue jumpsuit and walk confidently down the hall. The packing of the chutes happens in here, and the tandem masters are in red and standing by. After a quick meet and greet, the harness goes on next.
On the way up. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on. All right, let's go.
Peter's been jumping for over 30 years and here in Saipan for almost 10 of them. After some more pre-flight instructions, it's time to head into the hangar and out onto the tarmac for the plane, which is ready to roll. It's a short taxi out and takeoff into the beautiful blue sky. And it's a postcard picture perfect kind of day, the kind that Saipan is famous for producing, and soon it's time to jump. Meanwhile, on the ground, the skydive team prepares for touchdown. Christian Stewart is down first with a nice stand-up running man landing. Stewart has a pretty cool job. He's in charge of aerial photography, which means he jumps alone and maneuvers around the customers.
My job is basically I fly around you while you're falling and try to get some good photos.
Christian says they see a range of reactions from those skydiving for the first time.
Yeah, you don't usually get people who are withered enough to smile and have a reaction. Usually people are pretty frozen.
Korean dramas have good storylines and create emotional connections with their viewers. Some episodes are even shot on location. Method acting seeks to encourage sincere and expressive performances and experiencing a character's inner motivation and emotions.
okay. It's okay. Everything's fine. You're safe. You're safe.
This Academy Award-winning performance was shot right here in the Mariana Islands. The smile eventually does come out. Stewart says these dramas always have a happy ending and don't require a lot of post-production, but raw footage is golden.
If I was going to do my first skydive or my only skydive or any skydive, I would definitely want this type of footage. Like, you don't really get it. The handy cam's good, but you know, you don't get the whole island. You don't get the view of the face really well. You know, we can interact with each other as we did, and yeah, it's just a really cool job. And like for me, it's kind of I have the best job ever. I just fly around people and high five them and skydive basically. So.
For Stewart to get the types of shots that he wants, he needs to be agile and have good communication.
Do you jump out of the plane after the person you're shooting or before?
No, I climb out, so like I'm hanging on outside like this basically, kind of in your face, and then me and the tandem master communicate with each other when we're going to exit, so you kind of talk about that beforehand. But I've been jumping with these guys a while, so I kind of just, we know the signals, or you can read their body position and you kind of time it depending on a few different factors. But yeah, so I'm outside and I jump kind of with you as you come out.
Skydive Saipan is a family business, and Stewart is the son of the co-founders who gave him a very unique childhood.
What was that like growing up around skydiving?
Yeah, it was cool. Like I don't know, it was a normal kind of afternoon, coming and watching skydivers, or yeah, like I'd be at being picked up from school, and Dad picks us up, and I go, well, can I go for a jump? Can I go for a skydive? He's like, yeah, sure, why not? So like I did my first one when I was 9, and I kind of got hooked.
Stewart now does a lot of high voltage advanced jumps.
I really like to free fly, which is kind of, or do angles, which is like flying in like a head down position or a head up position, so you fall in like this, or angles where you're kind of moving along. Usually you do it in groups of like 4 to 10 to 15, like, you know, big groups are really fun, but all that stuff's like, yeah, it's kind of when you're working with a team and working with a group of people, you know, a lot of skydivers refer it to like an art form rather than a sport. You know, it kind of gets in that mix of like skating, where it's not a sport, it's an art form, and then having creativity with the camera work and stuff like that.
And living in Saipan gives him a lot of access to other first-class adventures.
I do read quite a bit. I don't know, Saipan's pretty cool. Like, it's got rock climbing, rock climbing, scuba diving. Like when I was going up in the plane, it was actually really cool because we could check the surf while going up, and you see if the waves are on, or like I was actually thinking about going coasteering this afternoon, and it was really good because I flight up, you can check all the coast and see which one's really nice to run around. So
Skydive Saipan offers jumps at both 8,000 and 14,000 feet for those between the ages of 18 and 65. You can check out skydivesaipan.com for more details. This Saturday, the Red Cross will hold its annual 5K walking event, and with a new course, organizers are excited about what this year brings.
So we're starting in American Memorial Park, right near the pavilion there, right along the water. It's so beautiful on that big grassy area. And then the students and adults and businesses, everybody who's out walking will basically take the pathway through the park, you know, by the bell tower, over the bridge, through the marina, then past the Army Reserve Center over to Eloy Enos Peace Park.
John Hirsch, the executive director for the local chapter of the American Red Cross, says they expect upwards of 3,000 participants for the Saturday walk.
It's really a partnership with PSS. We've gotten, you know, an endorsement from the Commissioner Camacho, and all the principals and the principals assign coordinators at all the schools, and they basically hand out the pledge form, you know, student to student, classroom to classroom, and everyone takes that pledge form home. And they start the process of asking ante for $2 and so for $10 until they can collect a minimum of 20. And then once they do that, they're in. So they get an event T-shirt, they'll get the refreshments that we're going to be serving there.
Games, face painting, food and drink should make it a great time for all.
It's a great community event. We get out there, it's first thing in the morning, so they get out, they get their exercise, and they come back, and we have a huge community fair. So I think we've got 14 different organizations that will all be kind of telling their stories about how they're helping people in the community too, and they have all kinds of little games and giveaways there as well. The Red Cross is reliant upon the generosity of our local community here, and the entire, whether you're a student who's donating $1 to this event or whether you're a big business, everyone contributes to really enabling and empowering our volunteers to fulfill our humanitarian mission. And that mission is, responding to a single family fire in somebody's home, which we did this week, to responding to Mawar over in Rota and Guam, of course, the major storms, U2 and Sodalor. This is about not only providing the assistance to families, but building capacity here and building resiliency in our community. So every day we're out there, we're installing smoke alarms, in homes for free. We're out doing training for free. We're, doing programs in the schools. We have a program called Prepare with Pedro, and it's an all hazards school-based program where we go into the classroom and we talk about, what if an earthquake strikes? What if there's a fire? What if there's a big tsunami or typhoon? What are you going to do? What's the plan that your family has to come together and to make sure that you're all moving in the same direction and what those threats might be?
If you want to join in the fun this Saturday and have not yet signed up, bring $20 down to the American Memorial Park just before 6 a.m. Companies and adults are welcome. Registration forms will be on site. Chris Nelson for the Channel 2 News.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month. Plus, a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
Location, location, location. Office space on Capitol Hill available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park. With natural light and ocean views, it's the perfect place for creative professionals. So upgrade your life and your working environment. Schedule an exclusive showing now. Call us at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com.
Buenas sports fans.
The ISA World Longboard Surfing Championship starts this weekend in El Salvador. Minami Kramer is representing the Mariana Islands for the second time at the event, and today she was fresh off a practice session.
It's pretty big. I mean, bigger than what I usually practice with. So that's a little tough in that sense because of just not too much practice with waves that are like overhead on a longboard. I'm used to some waist to chest high waves and without a leash and kind of just relaxed and fun. But you definitely have to step into game mode and get locked in when it's like that big and that busy out there.
Kramer, who grew up in Saipan and Guam, goes to college in Santa Barbara and says she learned a few things from last year's contest.
So last year I had my Jimmy Lewis. It's like an epoxy high performance 2+1 setup. And it's super duper light. It's, I'd say, about 5 pounds, maybe 7. So that was kind of tough just to like slow it down and turn it last year. So then right when I got back, I got a new board, used board. And that's a single thin log, kind of more traditional, which is what I'm planning on using this competition. Yeah.
During the comp, 4 surfers compete at a time, but during practice sessions, there can be dozens of surfers all looking for waves, and earlier this week, that meant a collision that threatened her new board.
This set came, I saw it coming. I was going to ditch my board. I saw the girl check behind her to make sure there wasn't anyone behind her, and I was far enough back that I thought it was fine, but just so happened her leash broke, and so her board went into mine and knocked out a good chunk of my board. Looks like a shark took a bite of it, but it's all fixed now. Super happy to have my board back.
Surf's Up this weekend. The competition starts. Good luck, Minami. Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week. Weekend weather showing very favorable conditions for all the exciting local events. Flametree Festival going on all weekend. You can expect east winds of 10 knots tonight, wind waves 2 feet or less. The Fishing Derby, which starts tomorrow morning early, can expect east winds of 10 to 15 knots and wind waves of 2 to 3 feet. Red Cross Walkathon walkers can expect sunrise at 6 a.m. for the 5K walk. It should attract about 3,000 people. They will be walking by Smiling Cove Marina just as those fishing boats depart. Sunset tomorrow night at 6:32. High tide tomorrow at 5:57 a.m. Enjoy the weekend and boat and walk. And enjoy the art festival responsibly.